Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Copyright Adhiniyam 1970.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. All right, and that's the spirit. As soon as this video ended, I got a breaking news update. All right, U.S. sinks Iranian small boats, shoots down missiles, drones as it opens Strait. So this wars and rumors thereof are starting to heat back up. All right, we're not losing track of it. Okay, we're still watching prophecy, occupied in prophecy. But there's other things that need to be addressed as well. But don't get it twisted, brothers. Still on their watch. You got certain brothers, GMS Kingdom Minded 144, the elder out there in Mississippi. He pretty much does war updates every day, and then you got the elder Yashawamba, various other bishops and elders, brothers that are keeping up on this thing. But yeah, man, and I basically want to do this video, and it's going to be basically along the lines of um, the hammer of the earth has been subtly broken, or let the weak say I am strong, because Iran to threaten attack on U.S. ships. All right. First and foremost, we know that there's a backing. Okay, there's a guard in play, and that guard is Russia and China. Slovakia. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't sneeze or clear your throat nowadays. Anyway, yeah, if this was to happen, say 60 years ago, Iran wouldn't even be anymore. Okay, but the Lord has it, everything set in His due time for it to happen when it happens. Okay, and it's happening perfect now. Iran, all right, has the capabilities to protect themselves. Okay, and also the backing by, like I said, Russia and China. I mean, other nations that are going to basically band together to put fire upon this whore. Okay, as per Revelation 17th chapter. Right, they should destroy the whore and burn her with. They should hate the whore and burn her with fire. So we're gonna go into the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 10. I'm gonna start at 9. Prepare ye this amongst the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Okay, and that's what these so-called weaker nations, because the scriptures describe Babylon the Great. Well, it doesn't describe it, but you have to extrapolate and you have to be in the spirit. But we know that it's talking about America when you go to the book of Jeremiah, the 50th chapter and the 23rd verse. Jeremiah 50 and 23, 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? So this is the end all be all after Yahweh Bashem Yahushua totally lays this place level. Okay, it's already a spiritually low place. The scriptures call it the valley of the shadow of death. Our King David, described it through the spirit, and it's a very low place morally and by standards wise, right? But it's going to be very late. It's going to be laid low because the Lord said He will lay this place flat. All right. I forgot where it said, but yeah, He said He will lay this place flat, and the Lord said, His words shall return unto His words don't return unto Him void. They accomplish that which He basically commanded them to do. All right. So Jeremiah 50 and 23, once again, how was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon becoming desolation among the nations? All right. And that's what's happening right before our eyes. Daniel 7 and 20. And it reads, and the 10 horns that were on his head and of the other which came up and before whom 3 fell. Okay. That other, okay, was talking about America, okay, but, and it was that little horn, but, okay, the threes that fell was what? Spain, okay, you had the Spanish, American wars, French American wars, the, Revolutionary War, and the Brits. So France, Spain, France, and Britain were the 3 that came up, the 3 that fell. And of the horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. And this is right here is being accomplished in DJT, okay, Nero 47, Salakia. All right, Nero 47, aka Donald Trump. And this is, playing out right before our eyes, okay? And you got to have eyes to see. You might think that we're just crazy, but no, man, okay? These words are popping out and live and basically they're living, okay. Verse 21, and I beheld and the same horn had made war with the saints and prevailed against them, okay, because they waged war against us ever since we got over here in 1619. All right, even before that, with northern tribe, the northern kingdom coming over here. All right, it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome them, but he shall overcome them at last. All right, so let's talk about the Native and the Seminole Indians having to fight these Spaniards and these, Caucasians, the Edomites, man. All right. Thus he said, the 4th king shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, whom shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it into pieces. And that's what America is accomplishing. Okay, it's diverse. It was diverse from all kingdoms. Basically it taking everything from pretty much an ugly amalgamation of all the kingdoms put together. And the Lord put it up high because the scriptures say Babylon have been a golden cup in his hand. So the Lord is really using this place for severe judgment, and it doesn't rival any of the captivities before it, except for the Roman Empire, because it being the revised Roman Empire, or that 8th beast that had his deadly wound healed, which is representing spiritually the Roman Empire coming back in power in the earth. And the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. He shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. And that's talking about America, okay? Babylon the Great. And those 3 kings that he subdued is what? The Spaniards, the French, and the British, okay? You got the 10 kings. All right, you got Germana Major, Germana Minor, okay? France, Spain, and Great Britain is included in there. Okay, and then you got Rome, and then you got Greece. So that's the that's seven. Okay, but it's like the 10. That's the seven. But the 10 kings are the vassal states. Okay, I think yeah, they're the vassal states. All right, that Esau and Salakia for my slip, but those 10 kings, those was the vassal states that those seven used. I think it was Brussels, one of them. You had Scotland, which I think they were part of Britain, but there was a couple that basically uh, it was two because on the UN flag they have 12 stars. Okay, they have 12 stars, but it's really 10 because two of those nations really were linked in with, I think one was linked in with Ireland and the other was linked in with Spain. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look, but yeah. So, verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. Okay, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it at the end. So that's going to be the end all be all of America, Babylon the Great. Okay, like I said, the beast shall hate her and destroy her with fire. Okay, so yeah, Ashley, let's go to that. Revelation 17 and verse 16. So let's start at 11. Let's start at 10. Okay. Uh, and there are 7 kings, are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue for a short space. And the beast that was and is, even he is the eighth, and is of the seventh, and going into perdition. So that's talking about the seven. So those five. Okay, so Germania Major, Germania Minor. Okay, you had the French, the Spanish, the British. Okay, and then you had Greece and Rome. Okay, and that makes up their 7 kings. And those five fallen, one is, and the other is yet to come. Okay, so and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and he is of the seven and going into perdition. That's talking about Babylon the Great. Okay, the revised Western Empire, Western Roman Empire. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So they were vassals. Okay, they served as vassal states. All right, to help the beast system. Okay, and they were given power because as vassals you're given a sort of power, but you basically have to be under the power of whatever the main countries are. All right, or the main ruler at that time. So yeah, that's it. We can definitely get Ezekiel 38 really fast because it all ties in. Okay, and I think I mentioned it earlier. Ezekiel 38 and verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, okay, aka Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, and with all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So that includes Turkey, Turkmenistan, all of those, northern countries. All right, even Timan is in there. Germany, that whole, the north quarters, right? Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's ultimately what's going to happen, okay, when this war ramps up. But like I said, we are simply in wars and rumors of wars, like Yahushua told us, but we know when to turn up. He's going to turn up our spirit when it's time to. Matthew 24 and 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. So Just hold on, man. We almost going. We're almost home, and just stay rooted because this devil got a lot of things up his sleeve that he's about to have come to play in these next coming days. Just stay rooted in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Keep your medicine strong, man. All right, prayer, fasting, reading. We know what to do. Okay, we were given instructions on how to maneuver in this truth of ours, in this thing of ours, like the Apostle Gabar always says. Okay, we know how to maneuver through the spirit power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, given to us through the Rakah HaKodash, through his faithful men. And those are the men of GMS. All right, starting with Apostle Har on down. So I'm going to end it with that. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. Shalom.